This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, February 5th. I'm here with Brandon and Erica. I'm Jeff. Stephanie is still on assignment in London, and later in the show, she's sitting down with the stars of the new superhero movie, Birds of Prey. Trust me, you guys do not want to miss that. But we do begin tonight with some very sad breaking news. Hollywood icon Kirk Douglas, has passed away. He has over 92 acting credits, including 75 movies. Most famously known for his role in Spartacus, of course. He received his first Academy Award nomination in 1950 for the movie Champion. His son, actor Michael Douglas, told People magazine, quote, "To the world, he was a legend and actor from the golden age of movies who lived well into his golden years. A humanitarian whose commitment to justice and the causes he believed in. He set a standard for all of us to aspire to." Michael went on to say that his dad will leave a legacy in film that will endure for generations to come. Kirk Douglas was 103 years old.
103 with a heck of an IMDb page.
That's right. That's right. I mean,
you see all those credits. I mean, it's unreal. And we talk about legacy. I mean, this last week and a half, we've been talking about Kobe Bryant's legacy. But
your mic's off. We're just going to be perfectly honest right now.
Man.
Yeah.
But you made a good joke.
Yes.
You said 103 with a great IMDb page. That's what I was laughing at.
Yes. I mean, we should all or hope to be so fortunate.
Absolutely.
One, to live a long and beautiful life, but also to have our parents with us for that amount of time. Like, I mean, what a blessing.
Yeah, that's him at the Golden Globes, and look at that standing ovation in that room.
Because he is Hollywood royalty. Absolutely.
At the end of the day, you can't take that money with you, but you can leave that legacy, and you can have people respecting you and honoring you when you go out. So
and that's in 2018 when Michael, his son, got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But, I mean, yes, it's a sad day for the family, but nothing to be sad about here. 103 years old with those movie credits and to be known as a legend in Hollywood. I'll take that deal.
I'll take
that deal. So good on him.
Yeah.
What a wonderful career. What a wonderful life. Thoughts and prayers with his family, obviously. All right, guys, we're totally switching gears here because something caught my eye over there, and it totally shifted me. The trial of disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein continues, and it has taken a weird turn, let's just say. Naked photos of Weinstein were given to the jury yesterday, and these photos are not available to the public, but the courtroom sketch artist got a good look. Why do these photos matter, you might ask? No one has said for sure, but on Friday, Jessica Mann, who accused Weinstein of rape, testified that his private area looked, quote, deformed and scarred. So this is important because if other accusers come forward and say something similar, that they could put the two testimonies together. I know that, listen, if you're making that face, we didn't even go into detail of what was actually in those photos.
She's making that face, and I didn't even say anything crazy.
Exactly. We'll leave it at that. It goes into detail.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I just find it to be so interesting because people everyone always thinks that they're going to get away with something. And then you become emboldened because you've gotten away with things for so long. Now you have an alleged serial sexual predator who has never been taken to task for anything. And this is his legacy. Naked photos of him being strewn around the courtroom. An embarrassment. I mean, imagine, he can't say anything.
Yeah.
This is a person who had everything. He controlled Hollywood.
Yeah.
Now he is this shriveled piece of whatever, sitting in a courtroom with everybody looking at his naked body.
Do you think this is the beginning, because he hasn't been convicted yet? Do you think these pictures is the beginning of taking that power back from him and giving it back to the victims?
This man is already powerless. He's lost his power. We've already pulled the curtain back and seen he has no power here.
You've seen us.
He has no power here.
And yeah, we'll leave it at that. All right, guys, remember this video taken by
This February on DBL, when we say we're real, we mean it. Our Commit to Be Fit viewers' final weigh-in, the big reveal, special editions of DBL's True Crime Chronicles, Erica Cobb's on-air natural hair crusade.
I can wear my hair however I want and still be respected.
Plus, we're telling stories that are brutally honest. A former neo-Nazi leader tells us his unbelievable tale of hate and redemption. A mother's story of losing half her family to suicide.
We are just parents raising them the best that we can.
How she's now fighting for your family. We also have a lot of fun planned. You can always count on DBL to be entertaining. Stephanie Jones is in London with Margot Robbie and the stars of Birds of Prey, Jeff Schroeder.
So why would he go back and kneel? Why would he sit there and try and do some sort of silent protest when he also said in that interview, look at who we had performing at halftime. That's the loudest, biggest
We'll be here. My friend Dr. Dupinski joins the panel, and we're giving away a Sandals Resort trip and a car to a viewer in need. This February, do not miss a day of Daily Blast Live.
You see here in this video at the All-Star game, he and Beyonce, they're standing up for the national anthem.
I think we really have to be very careful, because the more that people spew online talking about other people's bodies, if it's not positive, you are perpetuating a culture of young girls and young boys who are going to self-harm.
Harvey from Facebook says, who actually watches the Super Bowl anymore? Okay. It's as big of a joke as Bloomberg.
I don't know about
Harvey, I'm going to get you
100 million people.
If you're too good to return your cart, obviously you're a bad person. I don't want you as a neighbor. I don't want you as a friend. I judge people on how they use their turn signals and their shopping carts. And if you do neither, you are not my friend.
Judge Judy's impact on the daytime community and also the viewers that vote is immeasurable. Like, she is the Oprah of, like, judges.
It doesn't feel like it because,
Well
because
said. It's gonna be the last thing you ever say on the show, and you just walk
you know,
away.
I didn't know her.
Speaking of getting better, the story got better. Justin Bieber is opening up about his history of drug use, and it sounds a lot more serious than I realized and we all realized. The 25-year-old singer admits that he sleeps in a hyperbaric chamber and uses IV infusions to help with anxiety after years of drug use. Justin talks all about this in his new YouTube documentary. And that's not all. Justin said it got so bad that at one point his security team would check on him in the middle of the night just to ensure that he was awake. Meanwhile, his wife, Hailey Bieber, looking great on the cover of Elle, she says their marriage is now stronger than ever because they've gone through these health issues together, including Justin's battle with Lyme disease. So I'm watching that YouTube series. I watched the first 4. I'm a believer. I'm not scared to admit it. Yeah. It's all about music in the first 4 episodes, I should say. They're only 10 minutes long. But he does talk about this, and I didn't know he struggled with drug use like this.
Well, okay, so you've been following Justin Bieber's career for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, since the Biebs was Little Biebs. Do you think that the timing of this new revelation about him having a serious drug issue has anything to do with Selena Gomez coming forward claiming that he was emotionally abusive?
I don't know. Now that you said that, I wouldn't have put the two together. I thought of it actually separately, but it might be something there. I thought of it that he is coming to a point in his life where he's good with God, he's good with his relationship, he's good with his health, and I think he's lived a lifetime, and he's only 25 years old. Yeah. I think that's kind of his arc, but you throw Selena Gomez in there as well, it might have something to do with it.
Right, and I mean, listen, anybody who is brave enough to come forward and talk about their struggles with anything, I commend. I'm just wondering because she got a lot of pushback for coming forward and being transparent about what her experiences were, and I'm wondering if the two went hand in hand, because honestly, a lot of times when you have situations like this, I mean, we had Rihanna and Chris Brown. How else do you open up the conversation with your teens and, you know, like young adult children about the dynamics of complex relationships if you don't have the people who they've idolized to look at? And so there might be a bigger conversation in both of these stories.
I think so. I'm going to watch the rest, and I'll let you guys know. All right, guys. Jessica Simpson is admitting to having plastic surgery in her new memoir, Open Book. The singer reveals she had 2 tummy tucks after having her first 2 children. The procedures weren't for weight loss, but to get rid of stretch marks and loose skin. Jessica said, quote, "I was so ashamed of my body that I wouldn't let my husband see me without a t-shirt on. I had sex with it on and even showered with it on. I couldn't bear to look at myself."
This is like body dysmorphia at its worst. I mean, and I struggled for a little while with body image issues. They were developed much later in life. I never had them growing up, but I had to get to a point where when my body changed, I had to embrace that, like to the point where I almost had to like make it a part of who I was, so that I realized that my self-worth didn't count on what was on the scale.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, men go through this too.
Yeah.
Not maybe to this extent, but men go through this too. When you get older and you turn 40, pounds will come off like they used to.
Rob Kardashian, remember when Kanye West went on that rant, he said that he almost got lipo because everyone was making fun of him. So yeah, we definitely go through it as well.
You're gonna get there too, beloved.
Man, I went to the doctor today. They said I was 235. My playing weight was 215. That's 20 extra pounds.
Having a good time here in Denver, buddy. DBL is live, and coming up, who's the most attractive man according to science? We're revealing who the A-list star is and sharing your DBL take. Plus, Stephanie Jones goes inside the colorful and chaotic world of Birds of Prey. She got the inside scoop from the girl-powered cast. It's coming up a little bit later.
This February, ask the one you love to be mine and get away to a Sandals Resorts luxury included Caribbean vacation. Watch Daily Blast Live every day for a word of the day. Then enter at dailyblastlive.com/sandals for your chance to win a 4-day, 3-night romantic escape for 2. The winner will be announced on DBL February 26th. What better way to say, be mine?
I keep waking up at. We're live? Yeah, the body dysmorphia. Erica, do you see now that Jessica Simpson is being so open and transparent, do you see more women in Hollywood, or just people in Hollywood, coming forward and talk about their struggles as well?
I think that people want to hear those things, because it's not, for too long we were so curated. You didn't know what celebrities were doing unless they were like looking fabulous and everything was perfect. And then you start to not believe anything because you realize that no one's life is perfect.
Yeah.
So anytime, especially a celebrity who's lived so much of their life in public, is coming forward and saying something that the average person can identify with, I think it makes you look at them a little differently, and also makes you look at yourself a little differently. Like, all the images and everything you hear, a lot of people aren't even, communicating interpersonally. So imagine if all of your content is coming from Instagram, Facebook, where it's the happy, happy faces with the happy, happy lives and, perfect bodies, then you start to believe that that's actually what life is, and it's just not.
So Lizzo is big on body positivity. Do you think that that image, that body positivity image, can last with her throughout the times?
I don't see Lizzo changing what her message is. I don't see your body image being much different than what my hair transition was. You have a group of people who've been told forever, this is not acceptable in status quo. This is not acceptable for mainstream. Yeah. And then all of a sudden someone's like, screw that, it's acceptable for me, and you own it and nobody can tell you anything different. That's just a different realm. And then people glom onto that because they're like, yeah, I've been wanting to own this too. Who is this person who made up these rules? And that's just where we're at right now.
Jeff, who do you think is going to be that man or that male celebrity that comes out and kind of opens up like Jessica Simpson about his body and the transformations he had to go through?
Well, I think we saw it a little bit. The first thing that pops in my mind is Big Pun in the rapper world, and then Fat Joe actually lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
The guy from not Power 105, the LA guy, the LA DJ?
Big Boy.
Big Boy. Big Boy is his name.
Yeah.
He's small now, know? Yeah. So I think I like the body positivity message, but when you get to a certain age, that might switch up a little bit. You know what I mean? Welcome back to DBL. Harley Quinn is packing heat in Birds of Prey, but what about the woman who plays her? That's Margot Robbie. Last night on Jimmy Fallon, Margot admitted to giving up a very different type of gun. Let's watch.
But I've hung up the tattoo gun now. I don't do it anymore. No, I'm not trained at all. Bought the gun on eBay. One of my good friends was getting married in Australia. I was just tattooing my friend on her back. She was like, oh, I just didn't know that's what I was getting. And I was like, oh, God. When she walked down the aisle as one of the maids of honor in a backless dress, there's like this red, raw, scabbing tattoo. And her mum was filthy with me.
That's a little crazy, Margot. But yesterday, our own Stephanie Jones sat down with Margot to learn more about Birds of Prey. Today, you'll hear from the rest of Harley's girl gang. Let's check it out.
I feel like you guys are the girl gang that I always wanted to be part of, but never initially thought about ever by being like a badass, because I'm really not very tough.
You got some rage.
Oh my God, have you heard my voice? It's so croaky, and I can't.
I got it.
Go on, what?
You have gorgeous hair. Your hair becomes a lasso, and you could choke people to death with it.
Yes! I'll take that.
You whip it.
Yes. And I whip my hair back and forth. Yes.
Got it.
Oh my gosh, you found it.
You betrayed him. You killed his BFF.
What?
You are so cool.
And at different points, I heard you all talking about basically the female empowerment made this such a joy for you all to work on.
We're gonna have to work together. Sure.
So for our viewers that don't work in Hollywood or on television, can you explain why that's so important in the industry and while you're on set?
Well, it's rare. Unfortunately, we're still having this conversation. You know, I look forward to the time when we don't have to say, oh, this is so cool, that it's just normal.
I mean, I've had the privilege to work with female directors and predominantly female cast. It's just nobody gave them the credit that they deserved. Yeah. And now times have changed for the better, where the spotlight is on women in the industry, in front and behind the camera. So that's a really, really beautiful thing. It's not a novelty that women can get together, work together, and become friends at the same time. This is a great platform to push that agenda forward.
Yeah, and when I looked at all of your characters, so the costumes that you guys wore, they weren't as crazy as maybe in the comics. So did you guys get any say in what you wore for your characters, or was it like, this is what you're wearing?
You know, it was very collaborative, and they were open to our discussions on everything, but the great thing about having so many women involved is that, for me, I didn't need to voice my opinion as much as usual. It was sort of like, oh yeah, thank you. Thank you for thinking about the practicality. Thank you for thinking about the character and how she would want to look.
And I was actually relieved because usually the detective is always serious and steely, but in a tight-fitted suit, you know, and that's not realistic, you know, especially somebody who's running in the streets after a psychopath like Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And so, I was relieved. Her outfit was so tight.
Yes.
So tight. I don't know how you got your leg so high in those gold pants. I was pretty impressed.
Those gold pants were stretchy, that's how. I was so grateful for those gold pants. They were like stretch pants.
Well, hopefully we'll see more of that, and if there's a number 2, hope so.
Yeah.
You guys killed it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Great job, Steph. We'll be right back.
We start with some consumer news today. Macy's has just announced more store closings. The department store says it's closing 125 more of its locations in 19 states. Now, not only will employees at those stores lose their jobs, Macy's also announced it's letting go of 2,000 corporate employees. In some states, Macy's will turn its department stores into smaller stores called Market by Macy's. The company says those stores will be located outside of malls. DBL Nation, do you still shop at Macy's? If so, are you going to be upset if your local store closes? Let me know using the hashtag DBLTake. And now to a silly story that I just feel obligated to tell you about, because DBL Nation, my job is to keep you informed. With Valentine's Day right around the corner, forget a bouquet of roses. It's all about Olive Garden's bouquet of breadsticks. Yum. The pasta chain announced for the first time ever you can pick up a bouquet for your loved one starting on February 13th. And if you're single, I suggest going to get one for yourself. Duh. This has been Fast Blast for you. Did you know that we're live during the commercial breaks every day on our show? Just go to Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, and I'll be there to keep you updated on all the breaking news and developing stories. See you then.
The coronavirus outbreak is revealing just how many major companies are dependent on China, and it's not just on its factories. Let's connect the dots. When you think of China's role in the global economy, you probably think of cheap manufacturing, and it is a vital player in the supply chain. As companies and the government try to stop the spread of the coronavirus, you're seeing major names like Ford and Toyota idling plants in China. Apple is looking for alternate suppliers as a backup. But China is also a consumer of a lot of American goods. Now, coronavirus has forced Starbucks to close thousands of stores in the country. Even IKEA has been affected, shuttering over a dozen stores in China and asking its workers to stay home. The travel...
Welcome back to DBL. Well, according to scientists, the most attractive man is, any drum roll? Well, let's get the drum roll. B. London's looking at himself right now. It's
That's not
though.
me. My hair don't
It's
look-
Twilight heartthrob Robert Pattinson. Check out the eyebrows, the nose, and the chin. Mathematicians say the golden rule applies to his perfectly symmetrical face. So, DBL Nation, who do you think is the most handsome male celeb? Can't pick yourself, Brandon.
Oh, I'm first.
Yeah.
Here we go. Gina from Twitter says, I've always hated math, me too, but I do love some Jason Momoa. Aquaman is the king of my sea. Ooh, girls, water in here. Are you thirsty? And look, I wanna get the rules first, Erica, because I wasn't told, is this C-list celebrities and below? Or C-list celebrities
actual
and up?
celebrities.
Okay, well then I'm taking myself out of this one right now because I'm D+ list. But mine was Michael B. Jordan.
That's who you think the most handsome man in the
Michael
world.
B. Jordan, because look, I don't know about mathematics
co-sign
and
on that.
symmetrics and all that. He's got the big cheekbones and, the big jaw, but the dude, when he was the dude in the Black Panther, he was ripped.
I'll co-sign on that.
Hey,
I'll
you
co-sign.
co-signing?
Yes, I can co-sign. That is a weird thing to do that with. Okay, so Billy from Facebook says, you would think these nerds would have seen Star Wars. Adam Driver gets my vote. I could use some Kylo Ren in my life. Okay. Yeah, I like Adam Driver. I would have to say Trevor Noah, though.
Trevor Noah?
Yes.
Oh.
Trevor Noah has a perfectly symmetrical face. In fact, he has dimples on two sides.
Do you think you like him because of his looks or because of his wit and charm and things like that? Is there a combination?
Well, Trevor's kind of the total package.
He is. He's funny. He's a funny guy. I want to see if that weighed in. All right, Sean from Facebook says, Denzel, of course. They don't make them like they used to. What a man, what a man, what a man. Wasn't that song about Denzel?
Man. Was it? I didn't know
Well, they say he's got a Denzel face.
Yeah, body like Arnold with a Denzel face.
That's right.
He's smart like a doctor with a real good rep. And when he comes home, he relaxes with
With Erica.
Wow, Erica.
You know who my pick was?
Who was it?
It's old school, but not that old. Ricky Martin. I'm throwing it back. He bangs. That's a good-looking dude right there.
That is a good-looking dude.
That's a great wingman right there.
That's a good-looking dude.
He's a good-looking man.
Yeah,
He's a good-looking man.
I co-sign on that, too.
All right, I had to get that in. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Welcome, Beauty Blasters. I'm Jeray for the Slay, and today I want to give you guys a quick pro tip on how to use eye cream. Now, there's so many eye creams out there, but when you're doing your makeup and you want to make sure that your eye look is staying all day, sometimes it's great to use an eye prep cream. Now, with this guy, this is one of my personal favorites. It's the MAC Fast Response Eye Cream. It's caffeinated and it has hyaluronic acid to make sure that we're hydrating the eye, but also taking away any additional puff that might be chilling there. Whether you're working late, whether you're partying, doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, it's gonna take away all your little dirty sins, alrighty? Now, what we're going to do is just simply take a little bit, maybe like a pea-sized amount. Ooh, it's gonna come out. That's all you need there, guys. You don't want to overdo it around the eye because if we put too much product there, it can actually create more texture and more weight from too much weight being on that thin little skin. And all you want to do is actually take your ring finger. We use this guy because it has the least amount of pressure for using against that gentle skin area and tap right against your eye. Now, personally, there's a lot of different massage methods out there, but I like to take it from my inner corner and tap outwards. If you're getting a little risque out there, you can tap upwards right underneath the brow, and any additional can go right around the lips to help prep and keep the lips nice and hydrated and wrinkle-free. Okay, guys, another quick tip that you can actually use this guy for is removing little mess-up wings or eyeliner looks, okay? All you do is take a little bit, maybe like a quarter of a pea size amount on a Q-tip and clean up right against that wing liner for any dots or lines that you might have messed up on. One more thing you can actually do too is use that for lip liner as well for perfected clean lip liner without having to restart and make that line way bigger. So let me know how this tip works for you guys. It's once again MAC Fast Response Eye Cream, and it's magical. Go ahead and write me in @JeRayForTheSlay on any social media platforms, or comment right below to see more or talk about everything you've learned today. We'll see you guys next time.
Coronavirus is doing more than just causing concern worldwide. It's also hurting the U.S. oil industry. Let's connect the dots. In an effort to stop the spread of the coronavirus, China has cracked down on travel, instituting a lockdown that affects 56 million people. That means a big drop in demand for gasoline. Airlines have also scaled back flights to the country, leaving a glut of jet fuel and diesel on the global markets. That's all sending prices tumbling, which may be good news for drivers, but bad news for the American oil industry. The New York Times estimates some producers could lose as much as 60% of their profits. The big question now is, will OPEC agree to slow production, which would stabilize prices? And there is hope among some Texas oil producers that China can stop the spread of the coronavirus quickly, returning demand to normal levels.
Today's Sandals word of the day is seashell.
Welcome back to DBL. We've all heard the term beauty sleep. I like the music. But what happens when you don't get enough? We're chatting about it in today's Rise and Thrive, sponsored by So Clean. So here's what happens to your skin when you don't get adequate sleep. First, you'll wake up with fine lines and discoloration. Less sleep means your body doesn't have time to regenerate damaged cells.
Ooh.
Makes sense. Next, you lose your natural glow. That's because your skin's pH and moisture levels get out of whack, causing skin to look dull and aged. All right. And lastly, you develop dark circles under your eyes. We all know about those. And for ways to rest easy, go to SoClean.com or call 1-800-536-9175. Do you guys notice a difference when you get more sleep as opposed to not getting enough?
No.
Really?
No. I think that glow thing is off, or like the oil. I mean, my face sits on top of my face. That's how oily it is, whether I have 2 hours or 20.
Okay.
Follow both of them. I'll put them together.
There we go.
We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Same time, same place.